Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Four Lives Left, a retrospective gaming podcast where we play some of our favorite
or not so favorite games
to give you, the listeners, some new perspectives on beloved
or abhorred games of our collective past.
I'm Billy.
I'm TC.
I'm Ace.
And I'm WB.
So without further ado, let's get on all fours and get busy.
All right. This is TC. It's my week. I'm your daddy.
Yeah, Daddy, what are we playing, Daddy?
Today we're talking about Dungeons 2. This is going to be a kind of like a colony sim, except for you're managing your own dungeon. You're playing the baddies in this one. You're playing the bad guys, which is an interesting take on a lot of colony sims. We're all used to the protagonist being, the good guys doing the right thing. In this one, you're comically evil. You're so evil it's funny, and it keeps it light, but it's good. So Dungeons 2. It's made in 2015 by Calypso, who also made Tropico, Commandos, if anyone played it, along with other nameless games that I didn't know and didn't bother to write down.
I didn't know they made Tropico.
Yeah.
Those games are a riot.
They really
Oh,
are.
those are crazy.
I'll have to check them out. I haven't played them yet. I just know that one's a pretty popular one. So, Dungeons 2 is a dungeon keeper genre of game. That was defined by the game Dungeon Keeper, if people didn't know. I never played it, but it's very similar. This one I feel like really fleshes out the genre, though. But it focusing on creating an efficient dungeon, trapping heroes, luring them in, getting your creatures stronger and stronger. Because again, you're not the creatures. You're not the one fighting. You're managing your own creatures. So. You are the big bad. That's
What's
right.
its name again?
You are the ultimate evil.
The ultimate
However,
evil,
you
that's right.
control the Hand of Terror.
Yeah, okay,
the Hand of
that's
Terror.
right.
That's correct.
And you get
Ultimate
to
evil.
slap around your minions.
It's awesome. I love
I
everything.
felt bad. I
about
didn't want to do that at
I
first.
was
It was like, you
constantly
need to slap.
whacking
I was like,
it. Yeah, you're gonna have to
you
slap.
have to.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, but fantastic. It's episodic, so you go through your levels. How did you guys find this game? What were your first impressions? Let's start with Ace.
Okay, my first impressions, I was very intimidated. I am intimidated by management simulators. I do not focus well. It is a good thing that the management simulation is pretty light in this game. You only have to manage like 3 resources. That's good for me. I will say I wasn't great at the game. Shocking, I know. Add that to the tally of how many weeks I'm the butt of the joke. Check. I didn't care that the fucking narrator gives me a hard time. Like, I know I'm doing a bad job, man. Fucking leave me alone, please.
Yep. Yeah.
That said, it was fun. I was pleasantly surprised. I had a good time.
Good, fantastic. WB
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it looked good for 2015. You said it came out?
2015.
Yeah, so, I mean, it ran well. I noticed a lot of, like, puns or... it's very pun heavy or...
Yep.
Calling throwbacks and stuff like the
Frog farts.
I have not verified this, but they make reference to it in the game that they've been sued several times, which I would believe.
Yeah.
Please continue, but
Yeah.
I'll have more to add to that.
I really enjoyed that. The narrator gave me the Stanley Parable vibes,
Yep.
just kind of like that.
I
Same
believe
dude,
it's
I'm
the same
pretty sure.
actor.
It
Yeah,
is the
it's
same
the-
voice actor.
Which
I
is
don't
awesome.
remember if it's in 2 or 3. I played through the series recently, but he says at one of the times when he's jumping into one of his logs,
Yeah.
he says, and Stanley went, wrong script. The ultimate evil, and he continues on that way.
That is so funny.
Very charming.
No, it was. Yeah, I played Dungeons 4, but I hadn't played any of them, any of the other ones prior.
Yeah.
So I don't know if in Dungeons 4 you send troops above
You do.
ground. Okay.
You do.
I guess I just didn't play it.
You must not have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But I thought that was cool. I thought it was just going to be just solely in the dungeon. I enjoyed sending troops in.
There are other games. I think Dungeon Keeper, if I'm not mistaken, is solely a dungeon management game
Yeah.
where you lure other folks into your dungeon. Maybe even Dungeons 1 was.
I think it was when I was
Accurate.
I was doing
Yeah.
some research and said that 2 was the first time you got to send people.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. So I enjoyed it.
And Billy?
So I, like Ace, I was very intimidated with this kind of game. This was my first go at a game like this, a dungeon management, all that stuff. So as I'm trying to learn the controls, what I'm supposed to be doing, when that narrator started giving me shit and it really started to irk me a little bit. I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, the evil is stupid, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, fuck off for a second. Like, I'm trying to find the button.
Yeah.
But once you start getting the flow of things, it was good. It was, I didn't understand what the game was at first.
Yeah.
As far as like how the tutorial goes, because you're the evil big bad guy and you just rampage through the city and it's teaching you like the mechanics, kind of the basic stuff. But then it throws a dungeon at you, you know. And I'm sure as we progress more in this conversation, like my first go at the dungeon thing, I destroyed all the walls. I thought this was going to be my forever dungeon, you know. I was building it up. You beat the level, you progress, you get a new dungeon, you start over. Like, well, that was a giant waste of time.
Yep.
We're gonna start over. So that it was good. I just the narrator. I wish he'd just get off my back a little bit, just a little bit.
And that's something I like to talk about is and a lot of people are gonna say this is millennial coded, right? But that fourth wall breaking for me, it really has a tender spot in my heart when done correctly, because we all know there's cringy ways to do it too. And I didn't get that sense from this at all. It was light, it was humorous, it was funny. One of my favorite things the narrator will do is he says, Sam and Frodo are climbing, and he goes, nope, your goblins are working their way, you know, and such on and so forth. But several times that happens, they harp, and some of us here, I won't name names, really, don't know much about Lord of the Rings, but they make callback to callback to callback, just harping on that series. In the later ones, they keep doing the speech that Aragorn gives at the Black Gates. And every time it's just a little bit different, and they just keep harping on it. It's like, I see the same fear in you that would turn my heart to stone, or whatever it is. And yeah, just on and on. But I love it, that personality that the game has. I think this is probably one of the games I've played with the most personality, or at least in this sense, in a comedic sense.
Yeah, I like
go ahead.
Ultimate Evil when you're playing as him in that first, or like the tutorial. How it's all like your damage is always either 1337, which is elite, or 666. I really enjoy.
Yeah,
There's just like a lot of really little things that are, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic too.
Very good.
So we've already
1337. What's that?
So it's elite.
It's what you used to put in your gamer tag.
Yeah.
Because you got 4 letters or 4 numbers.
Mhm.
LEET. We were elite.
Like your elite. Yeah. Like
elite gaming, and then you could be a noob instead.
Yeah.
I don't remember what N was, but 3 was EE, and it was Neeb, but noob.
Very cool.
Yeah, just kind of
a lot of metagaming references. So we've already touched on it, but you're comically evil, managing a dungeon. Use your pawns to do your bidding. Yeah, your hand hovers about. Each mission's about an hour long, which I feel like is really punchy. It's good. You don't feel too committed to anything if you do it correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, an hour long.
Yes, just an hour long.
Yeah.
Once you get a hang of it, they're about an hour long. I'm not too proud to admit there were several levels, including the
Red Wedding.
It was the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That one takes
Yep.
a long time. I actually had to. I was about halfway through. I had to restart. That one.
Oh,
but
we'll get to it.
it keeps you on your toes. Yeah, but it's good. One thing I will say is some of the missions, if you are competent at the game, don't feel long enough in this version of the game. You don't really get to stretch your legs with the new toys they're giving you. What do you guys think about that?
I could see that. I think, as I had to do some research, I'll kind of spoil a little bit here. Believe it or not, I have a Steam account. I have a Mac. It's the only thing that runs Steam in my house, which is wild because I can't run Steam. Like, Mac is unable to run anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can run Dungeons too.
Oh.
It's a potato. My laptop's quite old.
Yeah.
I got about halfway through the Red Wedding level, and then I had to take about a week off because we all got the flu. And on therapy night, I went, and my computer is old enough; it no longer does any video, anything. So I had to do therapy on my phone. Side note: I was playing before my computer decided to update. I'm playing this game in the garage, so I'm blackout stoned. And then sorry, Keith, if you listen, if I send Keith this recording, sorry. So I'm blackout stoned in therapy. And then my computer decides, like, oh, we don't play video anymore. So I will get back to it later. The second half of the Red Wedding through the rest of the game, I just had to watch someone else play because I had no way to play it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That said, was not understanding what you mean until I had to do research as a result. I'm glad we started with Dungeons 2. My favorite part of the game was getting to the overworld.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been, I think, maybe not happy to play this had it been Dungeon Keeper or Dungeons 1.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the game was that, and I do agree, it was nice amassing a nice, big, beefy force, and I didn't get to play it, but I got to witness it, I bet you that final level is satisfying.
It is.
When you get a beefy force early, yeah, it's kind of like in Katamari Damacy when you get like a little too big too fast, and then the levels there's like 3 minutes left, and you rolled everything up, and you're like, that sucks. I was having a good time.
Yeah.
Give me more stuff to smash, please.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
How'd you feel about the pacing of the game, WB?
I thought it was good. Yeah. Is there music to the game or?
Yeah, but it's I if I remember correctly in
I don't
this
know if I
one,
just had
It's not remarkable.
No,
An
it,
ambient
it,
soundtrack.
it's
Yeah, I was
ambience.
gonna say.
You're evil, so a lot of
Yeah.
evil sounding.
Your character
Dungeon
noises are far louder than the ambient music,
Okay.
and then in the times where it shines through, it's so background that
Yeah.
it
Which is an art of its own, if I'm being honest. With a lot of music, I don't care to hear it,
Yeah.
but in this case, it's like it didn't take up any of my attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and in all honesty, like that's almost, I'm kind of thankful, because really one of the bright spots of the game is the narrator, and I do want
Yeah.
him to have a clean stage to operate, even when he is calling me a dumbass.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah. No, I felt like there were a couple points where I was like, oh, it kind of felt like it was dragging on a little bit, but I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Billy?
The game changed pace for me when I realized every level is going to end and you will reset. So it prevented me from taking my time.
Overinvesting.
Over investing. That's the correct way. So that allowed the pacing of it to kind of be correct. And what I'm trying to say is, like, the game allowed me to go at the pace that was correct to complete the level and then just move on. And when I first started the game, I thought, like I said, this is going to be my dungeon forever. So I'm going to take my time and set it up correctly. But once the game's like, nah, you're going to reset every single time. It kind of forces you to just move on, which was nice.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that. But I don't know. There were times where I wish I could just stay a little bit longer and then see how far I can grow this
Exactly
thing.
what I
Yeah, I just
I
wish.
concur in a much dumber way to Billy. The first couple levels, I just sucked. So I spent a lot of time getting more gold, because I've never felt more in touch with Ebenezer Scrooge hearing it's payday and thinking like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
But what?
I only need 2,000 more gold and I can finish up this research. And it's like, no, actually.
The first couple levels took me like, I'm close to 2 hours, because I would just send people die because I was kind of shitty.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, but eventually, like, it paces itself, because yes, by like level 4, zip, let's go. I know what we're doing now.
Yep.
Come on, build it up.
Did you? I'm sorry to. Yeah, but did you
well.
play on PC or
On
computer?
my fucking old ass. Yeah.
Did you all play on computer?
Yeah.
For this?
Yep.
So I played on PlayStation,
I wasn't.
and it was hard.
Mhm.
I think this kind of game is definitely meant to be played on
Yeah.
a PC.
I bet.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of where I struggled with at first. I think I made the mistake of trying this thing on console. There's
I'm
just
just
too
shitty.
many things you want to be clicking on and moving, and I didn't realize you can drag and select all your troops to
Mhm.
move them, or
Mhm.
like select them all. I was doing it all individually, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is when I was doing
Chicken
with a
pecking it?
controller too,
Yeah.
and so those little things. I think the quality of life stuff. I really think this game was meant to be played on a PC.
100%.
Yeah.
So then that's going to lead me really healthily into what this actually is. I love this game. I'm really glad we're reviewing it. But this, gentlemen, is a test run. So with RTS games, the dragon click and drag effect is very common, and that's not just RTS, it's also colony sims. But that's interesting that you mentioned that, because some of my first playing of an RTS was on a PC, but it was an old PC, an old game that some of you might recognize. Total Annihilation. That's one of the hallmarks of gaming, in my opinion. It is one of the most beautifully designed games. Anyways, that taught me how to play on a PC.
Is that the alien one?
No, that's Supreme Commander, which is the one I was just getting ready to talk to. I played Supreme Commander primarily on Xbox 360, which was a trial run for, I believe it's Square Enix who makes that game. Doesn't matter. Anyways, they tried to bring the genre to console. It does not translate well at all. You have to have menus on menus on menus. You have to have hotkeys, and you have to have a whole bunch of stuff. It just doesn't translate well. So yet to be discovered on how to do that. So it doesn't surprise me to hear that you had a hard time with that, Billy. So ultimately you're the ultimate evil. You go out, You're tired of people raiding your dungeon. So you, the protagonist, being this big armored hunk, go out and easily thwart an entire kingdom, right up until the end when you just get a spell cast upon you. It's very formulaic. Everybody knows this story because it's the same fantasy story that's been told 1,000 times, except this time you're the bad guy, and you get banished. You get destroyed and buried, and so the only way you have to operate is through the hand of terror, and you can command your forces of evil to go and do your bidding. You dig out your rooms, you build rooms, you try to manage your resources. Inevitably, you end up with a bunch of pissed off creatures because you can't pay them the money that they're
And
owed.
the beer.
And the beer that you need for the orcs. Yeah, and one thing I do want to talk about is later in the game you see that there are actually other versions of you, but it only mentions it several times. It doesn't actually become a problem for the main story. Did you guys run into that?
Yes, and then unfortunately, or fortunately, if I choose to play it, we'll weigh the options. I believe that's what the DLC is for, yes.
So I looked into the DLC and probably not enough because there are mentionings of the other factions in the DLCs, but I don't know if there's any DLC where you coalesce.
And then separately, yes, my last thought before playing, like when I was actually still playing, I have it in my notes. I think it was Snake Lady rules, Banshee rules.
Mm-hmm.
Was playing as some cool little devil lady, and they were fucking sweet. And
Yeah.
then I didn't get to finish that because that fucking sucks.
Yeah, there's a
What do I
point
have?
in the main campaign where you divert.
Fuck,
You go
that's
from playing
funny.
as the ultimate evil, and then you get to play as the chaotic evil, which is with demons instead of orcs, and what
The horde.
most people would refer to as the horde if you're a fan of high fantasy. Yeah, I just thought there was a lot more to expand on in the main story, and maybe they did do it through DLC. I honestly I didn't check. Because after I was done with Dungeons 2, I was like, all right, that's Dungeons 2. And I was ready to be done with it.
Yeah.
I feel like the game is an appropriate length to where when you are finished with it, you're like, that's satisfying.
Right. Yeah.
I'm happy for this to be over.
Yeah.
What'd you think, WB?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I had kind of a busy week, so like you advised, I played the first 3 missions, and then while I was working, hopefully none of my coworkers are listening, but I watched the rest of the gameplay, no commentary or anything like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think I probably missed out on some stuff,
Oh,
you know,
that's
but yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Even just watching it it's still satisfying to.
I think it's a pure form of entertainment, is
Yeah.
how I'd put it. Regardless if it's a video game, it's what media it is, it's just entertainment.
Yeah.
Billy, what do you think?
Do you, little sidetrack here. Do you think there's more than one way to complete a level, or do you think there's like a set step that you need to do to complete something?
When you sequence break, it usually ends up in a quip from the narrator, and like the overambitious evil came up from the secret dungeon entrance he wasn't supposed to know about yet, and completely wiped out the forces of good.
So there is a way to
Oh, yeah,
break it.
typically.
Okay.
Like yeah, if you don't follow the steps and you go through and you just complete the mission, it'll either if you don't complete the objectives, the mission isn't over yet, then they'll mention something like that. But if you do beat the mission outside of it, it usually just goes to the cutscene.
I like that. That's good for replayability.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an incentive to fuck around.
Certainly.
I mean, you're able to do that if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
mean,
Not the
that's-
first time around.
Yeah. I mean, like whenever I'm sorry, I'm kind of evading the question a little
That's
bit,
all
but every time I always ended up building. Was it like the tinkering hut?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was always my step.
Traps are
up.
OP,
Yeah,
man.
traps,
Trap,
man.
trap, trap.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I was Trap City.
well, it was more about like I need to defend my dungeon before I go up.
Not at all.
Yeah,
for
I
me,
know. It's
Not at all.
interesting.
So
Okay.
for me, I would always focus on the units.
Kid-
Really?
I want to make
Okay.
my units as strong as I can, but that still takes research, right?
Yeah.
Research, and then you build. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna butcher it. The Arcanum, or whatever. The thing where you can use magic to research a few
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Arcane, whatever.
Yeah, you get your population size up, and then every time it was like, oh, there's people in your dungeons. I just grab up all my dudes, dump them on the enemies. They kill all of them. They get experience points, and then
Interesting.
I so traps I hardly ever used. If I did use any, it was typically traps that slowed them down.
Hmm.
That's interesting to hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I very sad. My mindset was just opposite, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like, let's make sure my defense is good before I get my offense up.
Cool. That's good. The problem I had with the defenses is that every single time that you set up a good trap line, Gnomes come in and disable all your traps, and they walk right into your dungeon.
I don't know if I've had
It happens.
really.
Yep, the short ones, the bards,
Okay.
they sneak in underneath your chain wheelers and stuff, and they disable them, and then it's like,
I like the bombs. I use the
So
bombs.
if I can go on a tangent here about a little story
Please.
time, knowing TC, I thought this was going to be kind of a resource management sim that was like these people are gonna have they're gonna matter. I'm gonna carry these people for a while. So I only had 3 orcs on like mission 1, level 1, and I named one of them, and it was Shrug as an homage. And he needed to keep my little boogers in line, so I kept him at the dungeon, and I sent the 2 off to go fight the Alliance. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's helping out the crew. He's digging for gold, and he found spiders, and then he's getting attacked. So then eventually Shrug dies, and I'm devastated. And then I send the other 2 back because at this point I don't know. I'm just listen, folks. I play with a little bit of enhancement, so I'm not thinking the straightest. And what I really ended up doing was guiding the Alliance back gently to my house where they slaughtered us all. And from then on, I was all traps because I realized like I am shit at multitasking, so I just need to pack with a bunch of tar pits. I even came up with names for the traps to remember them because I play a little baked. Let's see. My favorite trap was Indiana Jones. It does a lot of damage. That's the rock one. Then there's what is Splody Box.
Yeah.
I like to do a little room that like pulled people in with gold, and then they would be like, "Oh,
blows them up.
yep." Grease. So that was pretty nice. I had Dungy Pungies because you get like pungy sticks, which I found fun. Indiana Jones nuked the fridge. You can get a nuke or like a bomb rock, and then just straight up lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Trap.
That's so awesome. I love that.
It helps when you're not actually good at resource. This game is very forgiving if you're not good at resource management games. It wants you to play it. And I'm really thankful that it gave me workarounds because I'm not good. I'm not like Satisfactory. I've seen what you make. That'll never, I can't, no way.
Satisfactory is one I couldn't do for this channel, but I wish we could.
I'd quit like within the hour.
I know. I have a patience for these things. WB, what was your way of managing risk in your dungeon? What would you do?
Yeah, no, I am very much secure the homeland before you send your guys out. So I am a fan of traps. Kind of don't have to think about it and worry as much, in my opinion.
Right. But the reason I say that you don't have enough time to stretch your legs is because when you learn that you can upgrade your forces through the arena, I just make a force that every time I'd be like, well, I'll just drop 6 orcs and 2 healers and a Medusa on them. The enemy force would just be melted in no time flat.
Yeah.
And then you just keep building up your forces, keep training them, and then you unleash them and you steamroll the entire map.
That makes sense.
Yeah, really satisfying.
That goes back to having experience at games like this, though.
True. Very true.
I mean, myself and I think the other guys, like this was my first crack at kind of like this, so it's like let's just not get killed right away. Let's protect ourselves.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're 35 minutes into a 45-minute mission and then your throne room gets destroyed and you're like, well, that's
I'll
start over.
I want to do that.
Shrug, no!
When you're talking about
boy.
You're talking about Shirga got FTL flashbacks.
Yeah.
You're going
I forgot what it was called because
Oh,
I
God.
so I put the space game, and this morning I was
Space game?
Yeah, got it.
Oh shit.
That's good. That's fantastic.
I played the guy I looked at after my shit broke and I had to just finish. Just a shout out in case YouTube channel Avak AAVAK. He's pretty funny. After the crash, I wrote some notes. One of the notes, this is what reminded me. One of the questions I wrote was, "There's an arena, huh?" I went, "Oh man, why is he so much better than me? Elemental Lady looks nuts. This dude's way better than I am. Oh, that's what a level 3 troll looks like. Oh, why did I never drop my kids off at the door? Because I used to just click and be like, all right, and then they take for fucking ever to walk." He just picked him up and put him at the door, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so bad."
If you hold right click, and even drops him faster.
And yeah, he was beating levels in like 40 minutes.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh, this guy's so much fucking better than I am."
Yep.
Yeah. So the moving on a little bit, what I appreciate the most about the game, we've already touched on it, is the comedy. And it's pretty lighthearted. As far as RTS games go, this is as light as it's going to get for the most part. There's a
Yeah.
few indie games I can name, but outside of mainstream games, or outside of that rather, mainstream games, you're not going to find an RTS game that's as forgiving as this one is.
Yeah.
It's very good for learning. I think the level design is fantastic. It's like I said, I like that choppy gameplay where once you realize what you're doing, you can get the game done underneath an hour, right at an hour. It feels rewarding because you overcame the obstacle,
Yeah.
but also you don't have to commit a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, as
And
a
if-
parent, that's nice.
Right, and if you are playing it episodically, if you're playing it, a couple episodes a day or even one episode a day, it's rewarding to be like, all right, chapter complete.
Yeah.
I can move on, right? And I take a lot of breaks from these things. I watch YouTube. I do a whole bunch of other stuff. For me, I think that's really good, right? I think it's fantastic.
Jork it.
Jork it a little bit. Anybody have any problems with performance outside of hardware issues there? Ace?
I played on a potato. It was really fucking hard to play. This shit was choppy. I wish you could pick your units up on the overworld and like if I'm not in combat, please for the love of Christ, just let me pick him up and move him right outside of the good guy's forces. Because yes, on that Mac, oh man, and then God forbid on the overworld I clicked the wrong path and then we have to go back and path find the oh my God. And then, oh God, the walk cycle, like I can hear the sound effect burned into my brain.
Beer time.
Huh?
Beer time?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm certain if from what I looked at when you play on a real gaming PC and not like a 12-year-old Mac, it looks like it's a smooth running game. On a 12-year-old Mac,
Yeah. But it goes.
it ran.
Works.
Yeah, it goes.
It ran for a sum up like 60-something% of the game ran.
There you go. It's good. WB?
I didn't have any issues. No.
Yeah, I'm certain you didn't.
And you already talked about your issues, that the only issue you had was the design of it on the console.
Yeah, I mean that's just a console
Like if you could
thing,
hook up a
but
mouse and keyboard.
yeah, but I'm very thankful there's no repelling in this game.
No repelling. Yeah, zero of that.
That's going to be a new category, folks,
Absolutely.
this week. It'll be the fifth live left. It'll be the repel check.
Is there a
Yeah.
repelling cutscene?
Yeah,
Yes? Didn't
Yeah,
get that
sorry.
heart.
you know,
You're losing that.
still to this day, that game bothers me. I don't know. There's just no. Don't apologize. No, that it just unlocks something inside my head.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to talk to you guys.
No.
Yeah, that's all good things. I didn't have any performance with it, but back to what you were saying, the artistic decision to not be able to pick up your troops in the overworld for me was really satisfying, right? Because while the game does not take itself too seriously, you can't have a game that doesn't take itself seriously at all, right? Because the Hand of Terror only has influence over his dungeon.
That's fair.
Right? And so that's why you have to behave as the Alliance behaves all over the world. They don't have an overlord to pick him up and carry him places. You have to play by their rules on the overworld.
Did it have to punish me in my own dungeon? If you drop your boys right on a fight, they take a couple seconds to stand. They will get their asses kicked.
I think they did have to do that.
God damn it.
That was my favorite strat. Is I'd take them and you put them around a bend. You wait for
Yeah,
them to get
that's
to
a
a bend,
lot smarter.
and then when they stand up, they see each other, and then they rush into each other mutually. Instead of your guys just being like, "Well, let me stand up and dust myself off," and he's hitting me in the head with a sword.
Yeah, Tar Pit ended up being a real good. It helps with the bards because at least it slows them down.
The bards always. I don't know.
They go right into your choppy choppers though.
Well, I don't think that there was difficulty settings in this game. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, there wasn't. So why was it that the bards were always disabling my tar pits and spike traps? For you guys, it seems it was never a problem.
They seemed to slow down for me at least. And then I got enough time to just drop my boys right on top of them, and I'll take a couple of hits.
Maybe
Orcs
because
are,
we focused on defense more.
yeah, trap it up, babe.
I don't know. Maybe they only have a certain amount of disarms or something.
Trap better, probably. I bet you it's probably like a probability check.
Or like a skill
A
based
skill
thing.
bit, like a cooldown.
Like I suck, yeah. Okay.
No,
All right, Mr.
like
Howard.
you're probably good. The game probably has like a way to check to be like, hey, is this like a 10-year-old? I don't want to fucking hurt his feelings.
Maybe. We already talked about the music a little bit. It was good. The sound design I liked the most. You said it's burned into your head. The walking animation.
When you suck.
Yeah. I thought it was good though. It kept it in line with the almost comic book aesthetic.
I did like the sound effects in the dungeon because they were a little over the top comical. I like the
Exactly.
you get
Yeah.
with the get in order. Quita, quita. I like the kind of grumbling you get. I don't know what I was expecting when orcs go on strike, but I don't know. It was funny. It was quite pleasant.
I'm remiss to say I never found the evil laugh button.
There's an evil laugh button.
You can even get evil laughs per minute stat at the end.
Miss that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they continue that on throughout the entire series.
That's fantastic.
It's really good. I love it. Anybody have any problem finding the game?
Yeah, initially, and then I
Yeah.
was shocked that it was the way I was going to play it was on a Mac.
Yeah, I feel like when I first searched it, it kept trying to get me to download like Darkest Dungeon, or like there's a couple other like Dungeon Conqueror or something like that. So
Yeah. Dungeons.
I had to like double check and like make sure. I was like, is this
Yeah,
good?
it'd be real silly if we.
If we downloaded the wrong game,
That'd
that
be
would be
dumb.
silly. Moving on.
Hmm. Sneak peek, y'all. Sneak peek.
I don't know. This game, for me, it kind of scratches a whole bunch of itches that I have because I love to have a satisfying strategy game, right? I love to have a strategy game that's challenging enough to where I can't steamroll over it. I love to have a strategy game that's complex enough that if I mismanage it,
Yeah.
I will lose,
Yeah, you
right?
can
And this
play.
scratches all of those while still having the added on cherry on top that the humor in the game is top class.
It is.
I think younger audiences won't find it as funny as we do,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
wrong.
There's still enough jokes, I think, like a middle schooler would find this humorous enough to power through. But there's definitely some deep cuts
Yeah.
that would,
Yeah.
no way, they wouldn't think they're funny. They wouldn't even understand.
I would have to agree with you.
Is it just satirical over the fantasy genre as a whole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It really makes a lot of deep cuts to other like fantasy genre games. There's references to even like Harry Potter. I think
Game
it's
of
frog
Thrones.
farts in
Game
there.
of
There's a
Thrones.
lot of Game of Thrones in there.
Okay.
Like the Red Wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean
first
like
mission-
word for word.
Yeah, it's like not King's Landing, but like it's like
It
or
might
maybe
be. It might be
even
King's Landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so if they did get sued, that wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
'Cause they
Right. Yeah.
and then
They just
yeah.
go for it. They're
But
like,
I'm
Yeah.
fairly sure it's. You know what? I don't know enough about it.
there.
Yeah,
I
I would say it's
imagine
fair
that's
use, but
covered in
I don't
fair
know.
use,
I
but-
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't
Sure.
sue us, please.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was funny. One of your objectives was, you see that unicorn? Go kill
Yeah.
that unicorn. I was like, okay, that's what it kind of gave.
Yeah, I was a little intrigued the first time I ran into a rabbit in the overworld that my forces were like, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I really enjoyed in the overworld that it would change from like day to night
Yeah.
as you conquered. That was very pleasing, like
Yeah.
very satisfying.
It was
to see
showing
that
you,
march
and it
through.
also shows you how much progress you've made. In the
very,
world,
very,
right?
very satisfying, and eventually very useful if you like level people up. Like,
Yep.
being on your territory, very, very. I don't know, the overworld cherry on top. That was.
Oh,
the
I
best part of
I
the game.
think just about every artistic decision they made in this game is fantastic. That's one thing that I will defend. That's a hill I die on. Is the artistic decisions they made were, I mean, they were really well designed when they meant to be. They were really funny when they meant to be. It was awesome. Like even to the point where when you are walking through the forest and you encounter a fox, right? And the fox recognizes you as inherently evil. So the first thing it does is attacks you and you kill it. The world changes and now there's some sort of weird tentacle thing that replaces it. Some creature.
Yeah.
And then if good forces come by it, same thing happens.
Yeah.
Curious though, if this game, I just feel like there's more they could have expanded on. Like for instance, if you're getting stomped and they manage to push you back all the way to your dungeon, would it have been satisfying to see that the grounds around it would have changed back? You know,
I think so, or I even thought about, and this is maybe because I've been really into the Warhammer 40k lore.
Right.
It kept giving me chaos vibes, especially when you figured out like that the ultimate evil had been split.
Yeah.
Especially when you fucking had to fight against demons, and I was like, we're on the same team. Like, anyway, I would have liked to see maybe if the game had a way, if I was getting stomped, it would have felt very satisfying, and I think it would have been a fine mechanic to punish me, because I would have had to go find more gold. If they got into my throne room, I got like my powers were increased, and I got to like have real big hitting tank, some kind of.
you'd love the next games.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Not to get too far off
Noted.
base, but in both of the sequels after this, there's a function for you in some capacity to actually embody the ultimate evil.
You get to kind
to
of
have him come back
corporeal
and-
for a second.
Yep, like the first mission of the tutorial.
Yeah,
you
where
gotta
you're
do-
like a badass.
you get to do that for like 30 seconds. Go nuts.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
It really is cool.
God, that would have been like cool. That would have made me feel much better about losing my boy Shrug.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been as devastating. Maybe I would have been able to like Also, there's a hospital later, so if you invest in that, Shroog wouldn't have died.
That's something I meant to talk about too. Is that's what I would do instead of doing any of the trap. Well, I did some of the traps, but instead of doing mostly traps, I would just make the revivifiers, and then every time my dudes died, I'd be like, cool, put them back.
Found that out way later.
Yeah.
And yes.
So my
Dope.
my operations for building was the place where I could station my orcs, the hospital, and then the tinkering station, so that I could upgrade all my shit as fast as I could. And so it makes it so it revives them faster. It makes it so they, the arenas, they earn XP faster.
Yeah, I didn't figure the arenas out until I watched another human being play this game. They look useful.
Oh, they are. And then the trolls can give passive increases to every single one of your units if you leave them in the forge for long enough.
Yeah, that's also something I read. In the heat of battle, I really like the books that you can pick up, and the first one I found really useful. Did you know there's a book where you can give it to one of your horde, and they just don't want a salary at all anymore? Yeah.
Yep.
But in the heat of battle, I put it on a goblin, so that was really cool and super useful. And then you'd think like, oh man, did you use him a lot? I was like mad enough at the game. I did not. I like refused to use him for anything. So it went to waste. He just stayed in the mine. You can mine gold, you fucking asshole.
Yep.
Should have put it on like an iron hide. Well,
Yep. Oops.
it's all right.
You live and you learn. Going back to your question, I think I don't know. I like that. I don't. All right, let me see how do I say this. I like the fact that it doesn't like go back and forth between like
Okay.
tainted and not, because I mean, think of all how long. I don't know. I think corruption happens.
It's
It's a lot easier than.
corrupting is a lot easier than decorrupting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
But that's,
Billy?
I mean, if you made it kind of like a tug of war thing,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
what I was
might, it might be kind of fun. Like if you were to lose a battle or lose amount of troops, maybe a territory that you already destroyed, you battle over that, and if you lose it, they regain it.
Yeah, like a StarCraft setup.
I've never played StarCraft. I have
Like
no
a
idea.
command point, conquer this territory, go to the next one.
Like a battle,
Do.
like a Star Wars Battlefront
Yeah,
1.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe something
You
like
gotta
that.
speak
I
his
agree.
language.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
I think that
I
would
can
be
speak
fun.
Billy.
Yeah, that might add some juice to it.
oh,
Yeah, that'd be kind
Well,
of fun.
good. Well, that's good. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. What'd your guys' wives think about this game?
My wife found it humorous. She likes British humor, and she found it was just coded
it'd be
like
right
this
up
is
her
a
alley.
Monty Python sketch.
It is.
This is Monty Python, Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And she thought it was quite humorous.
It's good.
my wife, she doesn't like video games that much, so she was like, I don't think she got it as much as the rest of us. But
Not for the
that was
normies,
cool.
then.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Billy?
Yeah, when the narrator cracked some jokes, she laughed, but the gameplay itself was not that appealing.
No.
Didn't really understand what was happening.
Or did you just tell her to leave because you were angry that the narrator was making you look like a small man?
No, she laughed at all that.
Yeah. And you're like, get out of my
I'm
room.
like, okay, this is too much now. No, she loved it. So, no, the gameplay itself, I had no idea, but
Gotcha.
the comedy part definitely hit.
Same.
Yeah.
My wife liked it.
Yeah.
She'd laugh. She'd laugh with me. I'd played the game before, so I knew not to take it too seriously.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think it's really approachable for a lot of people. Anybody who's interested in the medium of RTS Dungeon Keeper games would certainly appreciate it. So we already talked a little bit about the emotional impact that that some of you felt from the narrator jabbing you and stuff. Any other thoughts on that?
I mean, as you get better, he's nicer.
Yeah.
But if you take too long, he'll start being like, which is nice, especially again as stated. If you play this a little bit inebriated, it's nice to have a gentle, like a John Madden when you're watching football. I need someone to remind me, like, every 10 yards is a first down. Oh,
Right.
nudge.
You gotta go.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think like because I had played Stanley Parable, and that is like inaction is almost, I don't know. I mean, you really get a lot out of it. You miss a lot of the game if you don't not do things like that.
If you don't, yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I
If
know,
you
just kind of
don't
sounds-
fuck up every once and again,
Yeah.
you'll miss out on a lot of the humor that this game has to
Yeah,
offer.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's, I mean, very true with this game as well.
With both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the satire and the jokes in general can only carry a game so far, but if the gameplay itself can't compete with that, it kind of sticks out more than it should. And at least that was the impact it had on me at first.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn this game, but it's trying to be funny, but I'm not in the mood for humor and satire. Like, give me a second, I need to learn this game. But
Yeah.
it's cracking jokes. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Uh,
Okay, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
So the humor was good once you start to learn and actually understand the game. But at first, I found it just annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I would kill for like a better narrating tutorial.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit at the beginning. You know, the satire is great. It's what made this game good, I thought. Like it really feeds into the humor and making fun of everything. But at first, you know, it could have backed off just a little bit. Like I'm not saying I was offended or anything. It's just I'm trying to learn this game I've never played before. Like I could really use some help. So yeah.
Stop criticizing.
Yeah,
Help
please
me.
stop. Please stop. Yeah, I'm trying to learn.
I'm doing the
It's
best
like,
I
do
can.
this. I'm like, how do I do this? It's like, all right, you're an idiot for not doing this. I'm like, I'm trying. I'm trying to do this.
I will say, one of my big complaints about one of the tutorial sections, the tutorial should make me like be invested in later stuff and be like, oh, I want to see the next level. The assassin goblin is fucking worthless.
Worthless. Entirely worthless.
Oh, he's invisible, except for sometimes he's not, so don't worry too bad about it. And then you get in a fight with rats, and he almost died. Like, my dude almost died to rats. And I was like, what? You like, oh, we'll send our highest trained assassin. Don't worry, we've got him. As long as there's no fucking rats in between him and the president, he should be able to complete the mission. Worthless. I didn't have any amount of respect for... apparently, there's like a robo-mech. Wouldn't know, didn't bother. Fuck the goblins.
I always hired 3 goblins, and then they always stayed in the dungeon working at the tinkering shop.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything else.
No, I
They
needed
there.
traps, and then I had a lot of boogers because I found them.
Oh, they're
entertaining.
fantastic.
Also, it helps you guys not have to go on strike because the orcs just beat them up. And then I didn't find the trolls worth it until I watched the dude's video, and I was like, "Oh, the trolls are really,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
really worth
They
it."
make it
Apparently, actually, I think I would have lost the last battle. It looked cool.
I'm sure the goblins, if you invest enough time into them, become fantastic. The robo suit thing transfers into the other series, and you can more or less just get those, and then they're useful. But without that, with having to invest so much into them, what you'd have to do to keep them happy and complete your objectives to get to the point where you can get the suit, not worth it.
I am curious, Billy, because it sounds like you and I had a similar experience. I can't imagine speedrunners invest heavily in a lot of boogers. They were like my best friend.
I would disagree with that.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I use the hell out of them. They're cheap, and you can just throw them at the problem, especially while I'm like not very good at the overworld stuff.
Yeah.
So they just cheaply get me through payday until I figure out like, okay, I gotta amass.
No,
this
the
many
way
orcs.
that you use them,
Zork Rush.
fantastic. You lay out the blueprint of the rooms you want, right?
Yeah, totally. But you don't just do it randomly. That'd
No,
be dumb.
that would be. You lay them out, and then you hire a bunch of the little snots, and then they run out and they do it while you focus on the overworld shit. And by the time you come back, all of it's done. You have a lot of gold.
Yeah, one
you're
second,
ready to
let me
go.
write that down.
Yeah, go ahead. They're fantastic. Matter of fact, I think that's what makes the games go so much faster because you don't have the downtime of sitting in your dungeon being like waiting for $1.50.
Yeah, that's what the first 2 games are like. I think that would have pissed me off.
All right. So personally, I love this game. It has a few shortcomings, but I think it's fantastic. It's silly. It's not a masterpiece. But every time that I spend enough time away from these kinds of games, I always find my way back to them. Personally, it's a guilty pleasure, but I love it. But being realistic, I think that you guys would be shocked to find how I rate it. Ace, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. It was charming. I really appreciate that for a resource management game. It was a very approachable one because that's not a game I'd normally jive with. Would I play this again? Maybe in a couple years on a road trip for fun. Final thoughts and rating.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It was a pleasant experience. I was happy to get outside of my comfort zone, at least temporarily.
Good.
I really enjoyed it. It's a game that's definitely up my alley. I really enjoy RTS, and kind of playing a more simplified one was definitely a nice change of pace.
Couldn't agree more.
I really enjoyed the humor. It was beautifully done. Yeah, just all the I liked it. All the quips were very good. They hit home, and kind of reminded me of like or Warcraft 3. Blizzard when it first
Yeah.
came out, just kind of like that play style and the characters and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that.
Definitely
little
plays
bit
a
of
good
nostalgia.
homage to the fantasy RTS genre.
Definitely. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
It's good. Billy?
It was a fun introduction to a game I probably would have never played in my life, and it's one of the beautiful things about this podcast and what we're doing is it forces you to play stuff you never really would. And it was final thoughts. I enjoyed it a lot. I am intrigued to see how well I do in other real-time simulators because of this game. Like I kind of learned the basics of it, but it was good. It was hard to keep up with the satire and the humor when I was trying to learn a game at the same time.
Right.
But overall, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I don't think I'm a huge fantasy person though.
We know that about you.
Yeah, I just don't think that's kind of my spiel.
That's the part I like.
Coming from the guy who's like, yeah, I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
Yeah, it was all
It
right.
is all right.
It was all right.
That's insane.
It is. That's a wild behavior.
Did you see all three?
Yeah, man.
And you,
It was all
I
right.
get if you're after the first one, like it was okay. The second and third are,
Yeah, they are
Are you
masterclass
kidding?
movies.
Sure.
dude, I was rock hard in the theaters watching those.
All right. I just think that, I don't know.
He's
elves
got
are-
a sword. What's so cool about
Yeah.
the sword?
And the elves are annoying.
Couldn't
Yeah,
actually couldn't.
Yeah,
agree
they're
more.
annoying.
They are my least favorite faction in any fantasy setting. Dwarves. No dwarves all day.
Counts as one.
Yeah, they're cool.
Okay.
They're all right.
All right. So my final rating for this
Frodo
game with
sucks.
everything. Frodo sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a hobbit.
Yeah,
so.
they're all. All right. Enough.
know what?
about-
Yeah, we don't have to
enough-
talk about it.
Enough about this.
All right.
Save it for movie Mondays or whatever.
Let's do it. So my final rating with this, with everything, all the character I'll describe it as with this game. While I love it, I'm gonna rate it as 2.7 out of 4 lives left.
Yeah, I'm glad it got me out of my comfort zone. Very funny, very nice and easy approach to genre I am not familiar or comfortable with. 2.2 out of 4 lives left.
I thought it was good. I give it a 2.5.
All right.
Yeah, it's a 2 out of 4. It was solid. I enjoyed it.
All right.
Passing grade.
That is a passing grade. Couldn't recommend this game enough to people. If not for anything else, just to get into the sequels. The sequels are, they're probably, it's, you know what, we don't need to get too far into it. They're good games. They're a little bit lighter in the mechanics, but they're really good. Anybody interested in this game, I recommend checking out the sequels as well. This has been 4 Lives Left. I'm TC.
I'm Ace.
I'm WB.
And I am Billy.
Join us next week, where Ace is going to be telling us all about.
We will be playing through a psychological thriller in an insane asylum when we tackle Sanitarium.
See you there.
Got it in one.
Say the name of that game one more time.
Sanitarium. Got it
Okay,
the first
thank
try.
you.
Nice. Got it in one, everybody.
Thank
All
you.
right, see you
First
there.
take. First take.
Game R gamers.